I'd like to begin this video with a quick summary. Our company builds hologram equipment for some of the world's biggest organizations. Our customers include Bentley, Airbus, the US Marines, Hong Kong Airport, as well as many governments and universities around the world. In 2019, we moved into making hologram entertainment. Movies like Star Wars and Star Trek have been showing holograms for years, so we knew that there was a big market for it. We opened a dinosaur hologram entertainment centre on Australia's Gold Coast. It was very successful with crowds of people attending, lots of repeat customers, and it was Australia's highest rated tourist attraction on Facebook and Google reviews with 4.9 stars. It had 4 hologram rooms, each one taking around 5 people at a time. The centre only used 150 square metres because hologram rooms project themselves to look hundreds of times bigger on the inside than they really are. The centre was extremely profitable, making double what it cost to run, with annual revenue being 3 to 4 times more than the cost of setup. The mall we were in gave us very cheap rent to double the size of the hologram centre, and many other malls approached us about wanting hologram entertainment centres in their malls. There is a huge opportunity for new, high-tech entertainment. And we were about to expand globally when the coronavirus hit and entertainment centres had to close down worldwide temporarily. Money can't be destroyed. It simply goes from one person to another. If some people are losing money, then others are gaining it. This video is to show that there are many big opportunities that this business inherits from the mini recession caused by the coronavirus. The virus. Each year, many people die around the world from the common cold. It may surprise you to hear that 650,000 people die each year from the common cold. In 2017, America had what was labelled a bad flu season, where 80,000 people died from the common cold. Coronavirus is worse than the common cold, and it is dangerous for those who are elderly. But it's not a plague that's going to wipe out humanity. SARS, MERS, and other new strains of viruses come out each year, then eventually go away. How many months this will go on for is unknown, but in most regions of the world, the number of infections is already greatly dropping, and in China, where the virus began, the crisis is now declared over. So whilst some are treating this like the end of the world, others are making business preparations for when it ends. The business. Holograms are objects that look solid, but they're made out of laser light. We produce high-tech hologram rooms. When a family goes into a hologram room, the walls disappear and it looks like they are outside. The holograms can be quite large. In our dinosaur adventure, some of the animals are over 5 meters tall, but don't worry, they're made out of light, so if they step on you, you won't get hurt. The holograms are interactive, so people can pick holographic grass and feed a brontosaurus. They can fly through the air with the pterodactyls. They can swim underwater in the ocean. We have artificial gravity, so when a person jumps down a hole, all the hologram atoms go up, and it feels like they're falling down. We have released our hologram dinosaur adventure and are about to release our Holo Sports game. In Holo Sports, you and your friends play through 7 different hologram events. Our hologram entertainment centres are well decorated with vines and statues. When people visit, they spend half an hour in the hologram rooms and then spend about 20 minutes on our other hologram arcade games. These are like ordinary arcade games, except objects project up to 70 centimeters away from the screen. The arcade games have vending machines built into them that give prizes to the winners. The prizes are generally small 3D cardboard puzzles or small capsule plush animals. These toys generally cost us around 40 cents each. In addition to this equipment, we also have 3D projection birthday party rooms where people can eat while holograms float in the air around them. All of this is very different to anything else that exists, and in summary, you can basically think of it as the entertainment center of the future. Not virtual reality. At this point, I'd like to point out that holograms are not virtual reality. Virtual reality is where you strap a large headset to your head and you have TV screens over your eyes. You have a large cord to a computer. Holograms are very different to this. They appear in the air and they float in the room all around you. The market. The entertainment industry is one of the most profitable industries in the world, but it is also one that is very expensive for new players to get into. Existing entertainment franchises have all grown to very large sizes, and all major brands are doing extremely well. Australia's biggest family entertainment centre, Timezone, just sold half the company for $300 million. Strike Bowling Fun Lab just sold 70% of their business for $60 million. Minion Life Crane Arcades opened 16 stores in just 9 months. In America, the family entertainment chain Dave & Buster's now has 136 stores, with the birthday-focused chain Chuck E. Cheese having over 600 stores. In the early 2000s, computer arcades were almost dead. Then they brought in many additional attractions like bowling, mini-golf, simulations, and carnival games. They transformed from being computer game arcades into family entertainment centers. There are now so many of them worldwide that it looks like they will soon overtake the revenue of movie cinemas. It seems that any company that enters this industry with a major advantage grows to an enormous size. We have the most high-tech equipment available, so we're aiming to open 100 stores over the next 2 years with the goal of 100 million revenue by 2022. Opportunities. In 2008, the world had a global financial crisis. Many jobs were lost and many businesses went bankrupt. Yet the Guardian newspaper reported how entertainment sales were booming. The New York Times reported that entertainment sales had done better than the last 5 years in a row. Cinema tickets sold 20% more than in previous years. The entertainment industry wasn't just recession-proof, it actually did better in unhappy times. Experts believe that this was because people wanted to find some joy among all their troubles. But they also believe that it was because luxury resorts and overseas holidays had been cancelled in favour of cheaper forms of entertainment. This pattern isn't new. After World War II, the theatre industry made a fortune, and in the 1975 recession, entertainment also stood out as one of the best industries to be in. The rental opportunity. Sadly, many retail businesses and restaurants have vacated as a result of the coronavirus. For us, this means that some of the best locations are offering very cheap rent. Under normal circumstances, it is hard to get good locations, and sometimes you may be waiting for years. But at present, malls are offering us as many good locations as we can fill, and all at good rents with very generous clauses allowing us to leave later if we feel the location wasn't right for us. Health and safety. All day long, we touch things that other people have touched. Money, door handles, escalator rails, holding straps on trains, arcade joysticks, cinema chairs. After the virus has passed, people may have a different way of viewing some of these habits. As the manufacturers of our own equipment, we have started installing UV medical-grade sterilization emitters into all of our devices. These destroy 95% of viruses on any surface, as well as destroying viruses in the air. These will be installed on the ceiling, and after each session, the hologram rooms and arcade machines will go into a 50-second sterilization mode. Cost of setup. Normally, setting up an entertainment venue costs millions of dollars. Larger centers may cost as much as $20 million to set up. Arcade machines, bowling alleys and other equipment costs $50,000 to $100,000 per unit. For example, a Triotech 8-person shooter arcade machine costs $350,000 US. Recovering the cost of setup is normally the largest expense in the family entertainment industry. In 2019, our company Euclideon Holographics came second in the world's largest technology competition. Normally, hologram equipment costs millions of dollars to produce, and so it was seen only in top universities and science centers. However, we found new ways to build this equipment so that it was less than 5% of the cost to produce. In September, the mayor of Silicon Valley also gave us the Yosemite Award for Best Technology that year for our new ways to bend light and produce high-quality hologram equipment at such a low cost. For our investors, this means that whilst others are spending around $6 million to set up an entertainment center, we can do it for around $250,000. Where others are spending $20 million on a large center, we can do it for $500,000. This allows us to spread quickly and make significantly higher returns on the initial investment. We produce the hardware equipment ourselves in our factory here in Australia, with the larger outer shells being produced in China. We created and own all the patents to produce these devices, so there is no risk of competitors as they have nowhere else where they can buy this equipment from. The future. We have already produced 15 hologram arcade games and 2 hologram room adventures, with another 4 hologram room adventures in production past the 50% completion stage. We will be producing new regular content and releasing it many times each year to keep people coming back. Holo Sports will be released mid-2020, with our underwater adventure being released around Christmas. Eventually, when we have set up enough centers, we will move into using licensed hologram content. So the latest movies or popular children's cartoons may have hologram adventures that go alongside them. Staying new and different is important in the entertainment business. Whilst traditional arcades have to buy entire new arcade machines, all of our content is just uploaded onto existing machines and chosen from the main menu screen, so there's no additional cost to have regular new entertainment. Holographic tourism. In addition to our existing devices, we have many new devices in development. For example, we are 90% complete on our immersive tour machines that allow a family to visit real-world places and have a holographic holiday. This technology was originally created for military and governments to make perfect 3D digital copies of the real world, but it is just as suitable for a paid entertainment attraction. We expect to release this in late 2021. The investor opportunity. We will be selling off 40% of each entertainment center to investors. We will run the entire business, and investors will receive 40% of the profits as regular dividends. Our first center is already established, and profits already show that investors could receive as high as 55% return on their investment, even before the new content of Holo Sports or the hologram arcade machines have been added. So there is hope that returns after these things have been added could even be as high as 100%. No one really knows. This investment is very different to most other investments. Most other investments make profits, but then they take those profits and they reinvest them to be used in the expanding of the business. When companies do this, investors don't see any return on their investment until the company sells on the stock market many years later. Instead of doing this, we will be using an alternative model that is much better for investors. In this model, we will build entertainment centers and sell off 40% to investors. Any new centers will be funded by new additional investors. So we are giving your profits to you as dividends 2 to 4 times a year, rather than keeping them and reinvesting them back into the company's expansion. The company's expansion and the opening of new centres will be done by new additional investors. This also means that in order to expand, we need to show to new investors that previous investors received very good returns. So it is in our best interest to look after existing investors and get as much money into their pockets as possible so that they can tell later investors about their experience. Exit strategy. During your time with us, we expect that you will be receiving high dividends. However, when you feel it is time to take your money out again, we have supplied an easy-to-understand exit strategy. When new investors join, they will be waiting 2 months for their new centre to be built. However, if any existing investor wants to exit, they can go on a registry where a portion of new investors can buy their shares directly from them. It is more beneficial to new investors to buy existing shares from those who want to exit, because that way the new investor does not have to wait for their new centre to be built. More about us. Our company is called Euclideon Holographics. It is the parent company of all the Hologram Entertainment Centres, but you will be investing in the centres themselves through our subsidiary company called Euclideon Entertainment. As mentioned before, we will be selling off 40% of each Hologram Entertainment Centre, with the remaining 60% belonging to the parent company Euclideon Holographics, who invents the equipment and creates all the content. So it is important that you understand who is running this parent company and what experience and previous successes they have had in business. Euclideon Holographics makes the world's best geospatial hologram equipment. It is used by our own government here in Australia, as well as the US Marines, Qatar Military, Airbus, Beijing University, Hong Kong Airport, Bentley, and many other universities and distinguished organizations. I am Bruce Stell, the CEO of this company. This is my second company. My first was called Euclideon. It made the three-dimensional graphics software that's used by the French railway system, Nexco, the Tokyo Traffic Authority, as well as being licensed by Leica, the world's largest geospatial laser scanning corporation. I built that business up to over $100 million, and it's now going to the stock market. I left Euclideon in the hands of its new CEO, Daniel Zhang, so that I could start Euclideon Holographics and move into Hologram Entertainment. In addition to myself, Euclideon Holographics board also includes people like David Merson. David was the founder and CEO of Mincom. Mincom was the largest technology company in the Southern Hemisphere. David built Mincom up to around 1,300 employees with over 200 million a year in revenue. Our board also has many other very experienced business people that will be assisting with our expansion and global strategy. As mentioned before, Euclideon Holographics has won many of the world's highest awards for inventing new technology. And so our shareholders include some of the world's most distinguished investors. Our shareholders include people from SoftBank, the world's largest technology fund, Leica, the world's largest geospatial and laser scanning company, MOG Group, which is a multi-billion-dollar group run by Sheikh Salem of Oman, Morgans, Australia's largest financial advisory firm, JP Morgan's, one of America's largest investment banks, as well as many Chinese investors. But at the beginning of this year, our company became public unlisted, and so now it is open for ordinary people to invest as well. At present, Euclideon Holographics has over 50 employees, and its headquarters is in Brisbane, Australia. Euclideon Entertainment will open major regional offices in the Americas and Europe in late 2020 and early 2021.